All right. All right. Folks on YouTube here, of course, we have about 26 minutes before we actually come up with the program. If you're watching this on the replay, I'm just starting this up early for the radio stations to log on here. And one of the big things here, I need to know how the audio sounds here. Once I see a couple subscribers pulling up here, we will be ready to rock and roll here. So. Get a couple other people lined out here. All right. One subscriber here. Could you tell me how the audio sounds, please? Audio check 1, 2, 3, 4. Hot. I'm in the fire hall, Jesse. I am at the fire hall in Amadon. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm going to have to check on Lynn phone here and get Mikey set up here as soon as I can here, too. Cool. Thank you. Hopefully, we're only running on 90 and 70. Oh, geez. I could have done without that. Well, I got to minimize you for a little bit here so I can get the next program running. Oops. That's not what I needed. Hopefully it doesn't cut that one out. And we'll see here. And of course, that one isn't picking up. All right. All right. All right. Audio check 1, 2, 3, 4. Evidently, we got a good or a goof, a good, clear, and an eggplant. That's awesome. Other than that, stations just text me here on the live chat. Let me know if you're on or not. Mobridge Pier. I'd appreciate that a lot. And still waiting on Lynn phone on the other side for Mike Wagner here. Might have to send him a message. And we'll go that route. Once again, we are about 17 minutes away from starting stations. Jesse Flass says hi. You got to grab a mic. You got to pull your chair up here, Dick. Uncomfortably close. Let me turn you on here. Give an audio level test for you here. All right, stations, my clock is 6:43, 45, 46, 47, just to let you guys know. All right. Say hi to Jesse now.
Hi, Jesse.
There you go. I'll have to do some adjusting as we keep talking here. All right. And phone is reset. Try again. YouTube is back up. All right. Good enough. There, we're hooked up. Good enough. Minimize, minimize. No, we didn't get any rain over this way. We got a lot of dew, though. There. A lot of little fog in the morning, which is nice to see. I don't know if the old timers, if it's going to hold true, are we going to get 30 days, 60 days, 45 days, 90 days? That's what we lived by. That means snow. I'm going to start feeding early, I guess. 70 on Thursday and 20 last night. Yeah. It's because you guys get all the rain up that way. John Schneider, KOLY Mobridge. Good morning, John. Not Schneider, Schreier, sorry. Filling in for Karen. You gave her a weekend off? What the hell? All right. Waiting for KGFX out of here, and then we just have to wait until the time starts. Get everything else here. Let's see here. There it is. Let's double check, make sure all my audio levels are. That's hot. That was a little hot. All right. Have Dick tell me about burger specials so you can level him. All right. Your hamburger specials. Talk about your food quick so I can level their microphones.
Okay, we sell hamburgers, cheeseburgers, roast beef, and bratwurst.
The best bratwurst you can have. How about that now? How many flavors of beer do you have this year?
We enlarged our assortment this year.
You did?
So I think we're up to about 8 or 9, somewhere in that area, roughly.
Are you having Palm Breeze? Please tell me you didn't get Palm Breezes.
Yes.
Oh, good God. You know the death to any fundraiser is Palm Breeze.
We had to add Palm Breeze and White Claws, I believe it was, due to the female clientele.
White Claws?
White Claw, it's called.
White Claw.
And I have no idea what it is. I haven't tried it. Don't want to. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, Mike. All right. Yeah, sounds good. Jesse says you have hams.
Oh, yeah.
Good Slope County, seriously.
In fact, I just put a spigot on our 8,000-gallon tank out here this morning that's got a big hams thing on from his dad.
Nice.
Gave us.
That's right. Warren's got like the complete collection of everything in his office, doesn't he?
Oh, my God.
Holy cow.
That is a complete collection. Yeah. I mean, there's a pile of stuff in there.
Say, Jesse, if you're still listening, I want you to call my cell phone. And I don't know if you can call and monitor at the same time, but I want to try to let's test my cell phone if we can take calls. See how that sounds here. Yellow.
Hey there.
Okay, I can hear you clear as bell in my headset. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, because I'm just holding it in the middle here. So how does
The only thing I can't monitor it at the same time because I'm listening on my phone.
Okay, that's what I'm guessing here. But if I can hear you clear as bell, I'm guessing that it's feeding through YouTube as well.
Right.
So any other subscribers? I see there's a few other subscribers. Darren Munn, Darren, can you hear Jesse clear? Or is it what's the scoop there?
Just trying out the cell phone, Darren, seeing if people can call in and come across the airwaves decent.
He says he can hear. I'm just seeing what the audio sounds good. He says, "Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it, man." All right.
Do you have got a set of headphones for Dick?
Yeah, there's a set of headphones for him, but he can't get him over his cowboy hat.
No, good Lord.
So if somebody calls, he's going to have to put him on from behind.
All right. Darn stuff.
All right. Thanks for the audio check, man. Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.
Technology, man.
Oh, gosh, yes.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
yeah. If we get a call, you can just pull them on from behind your head. Just like that. Yeah. Yep. Nice and clear. You bet. Good deal. All right. So we got everybody hooked up, and we have 16 minutes before we start. So stations, anybody watching on YouTube, it's going to go kind of quiet here because I'm going to try one of these White Claws. I'm going to try one. Hell yeah. Let's get it done. Last week I was up in Hazen and they gave me some adult slushies.
Oh, I got one of them too.
You have adult slushies?
A Foxy Lady.
Oh, I've never heard of a White Claw. Let's try that. All right. It's going to be quiet for a little bit. You might hear background noise all you hear. Don't be alarmed.
I can give you a ruby grapefruit or a natural lime. Grapefruit. Breakfast.
See how the White Claw hard seltzer.
We actually have 11 flavors.
11 flavors. Okay.
Including the Foxy Lady.
The Foxy Lady is a slushy, huh?
Yep.
It's nothing like. So we're up at Hazen Bay, last weekend, and the hub up there. Chris Fitter sponsored my broadcast up there, and this young lady brings me and Jesse 2 slushies with like a lot of rum in them. So evidently that's a thing up there. It's pretty good. So yeah. All right. So here we go. See, I've never heard of this. White Claw Ruby Grapefruit. So where we at? There we are. It's a bit of a lady drink. KGFX, good morning. Jim, good morning to you. I'm guessing it's a lady drink. Now, can you technically say that anymore?
I'm not sure. I suppose it's not politically correct.
We're not very politically correct in Slope County,
Well,
though.
that's true. We're hams drinkers, so who cares?
Got to try it, though, right? All right. Let's see what we got here. I went to a marketing class, and how they try to market people into stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So where does gluten come from?
I have no idea.
Wheat-based products, right?
Okay.
It's a protein out of wheat.
Okay.
So this is ruby grapefruit, but it's advertised as gluten-free.
Oh, good.
It's because there's no gluten in grapefruit anyway.
I know we've had a couple women have walked up and ordered a sandwich. Is this gluten free? Because I'm intolerant. Hell, I don't know.
Just say yes.
Yeah.
I got to tell you what, this is terrible.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It is not good.
Oh.
I'm gonna finish it because you gave it to me, so
Oh, that's all right.
it might take all day in the tractor, but it'll get done. Might help put out some fires.
Yeah. Maybe that's all it's good for. I don't
Jesse
know.
said it reminds me of Zima.
Zima.
Remember Zima's back in like the 90s?
Zima, yeah. I remember the name, but I don't remember what it was.
I've never tasted it, so I have no idea.
I don't think I did either.
I'm going this route. Oh, did you know the company, the owner of Dasani, I think it was this one, they admitted that this is nothing but tap water that they get out of their factory.
Oh, I believe that.
Southwest Water. You guys could sell water out of here. Do you have Southwest Water here?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We don't in the fire hall, but it's right north
Right
of here.
behind you.
Right behind it. Go by. That's usually why I bring my own water from my well, because I don't know where this stuff comes from.
You know what I miss? Growing up in Raleigh, we had hard water. And it was very hard to the point where we were milking cows that the state inspector told us that we had to drill a new well because our water was so hard for the inspection of our pipelines and everything in our milk barn. So we had one well, the hard water. The other one, we drilled down deeper and got soft water. And filling our water jugs for haying in the summertime, and that was all hard water. It was the best damn water I've ever tasted in my life. It was good stuff.
That's the way mine is. It's real hard, and that's why I usually carry my own, because this stuff I can sit here and drink bottle after bottle, and I still never get satisfied with it.
Not like a Ham's beer, that's for sure. Jim says, remember when they came up with an energy drink beer combo drink in a can? I thought, man, just pick one. Yeah, no doubt. The energy drink and a beer. I wonder what that was.
Energy drink and a beer. That's got to be Hams.
I think it is Hams.
Yeah, I think it is.
See,
I always get energetic when I drink Hams.
It gets smarter, like Cliff Clavin said. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, you bet.
In fact, there's a little ditty on our cooler from Cliff Clavin.
What's it say? Is it arable?
Basically, it's got to do with the herd mentality, where
the slowest
more you drink and the slower the brain. And
like putting Red Bull and booze together in a shot. People wonder why they get sick. Yeah. All right, we're about 10 minutes away, roughly 10 minutes away for those watching on YouTube from the actual radio program and live program. So until then, we're just BSing. So I don't think this is part of the actual show, but we're going to educate you as best we can. One of the distributors, who distributes Hams? Is that Jerome's or is it Braun?
We get it from Braun's.
And that's out of McQuaid's.
And then we go through Dickinson.
Okay.
I think it comes out of Bismarck.
So bronze, I thought one of the distributors one time told me that Slope County has the most hams consumption or the best sales of hams of any county in North Dakota.
Well, if they do, it's directly out of this building, I think.
Good stuff. Even Cheech and Chong knew not to mix uppers and downers together. I don't know if they did or not.
No, I don't
I
think
think
so.
on the movie Up in Smoke, and I can't believe I'm saying that I seen that. I don't know. When they got picked up by the policeman
Oh, yeah,
behind him or
yep.
something, I think he was swallowing everything he could,
Yep.
and that turned out to just be an ambulance or something behind him.
Right.
Good stuff. All right. Well, let's see here. I got yeah, you're gonna eat that hot dog. See, Jim knows Cheech and Chong movies.
Oh, good. I'm not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing.
See, here's one of the things. Jim, line up something where I need to come down to Pier and do my show down there, man. I need to get down in that Pier area. I haven't been down there for quite some time. One of the last times was your Farm and Home show down that way. So now that I know I can go mobile here, as long as we have internet service somewhere, I still have to try it off a hotspot off my phone. That might be a possibility as well. I just don't know what the connection is going to be. Oh, man. Yeah.
I notice you're not taking too many sips out of the White Claw.
I think I'm going to save it for my guests, which includes you and Jim Sabe.
Let's give it to Jim then.
Let's give it to Jim. And if he says, "Oh, that's not too bad," then we kind of know what's going on down there in Boulder
Then we
County.
know he's been watching Cheech and Chong movies too.
It doesn't get any better with the second drink either. 100 calories, no fat, a little bit of sodium, and 4% sugars, no protein.
And no flavor.
Boy, that's not flavorful. Well, I don't know. You know, that's the thing about like all these microbrew people. That is some nasty tasting stuff in my mind. But then again, I drink hams, right? So
There's some of
it's
it.
an acquired taste.
The problem with these microbrews, if you go into one of these places that have a wide variety,
Yeah.
you don't have a clue which one you're supposed to
No
like.
idea. No idea.
By the time you find the one that you want, you're about half sick of drinking.
Well, I walked up to Webo, Montana. Lindsay was up there. I said, Lindsay, give me something that resembles like Coors Light, Bud Light. She says she puts a glass of water up for me. Okay. I said, perfect. And I grabbed it and turned and walked away. If that's all you have, I'll drink water.
Yeah,
But
no lie.
that black leaf mud sewage, I'm not into, I guess.
Yep.
But a lot of people are. Oh, man, they like that. Jim says, just show up like everybody else. All right. Just walk in there. Kick the door down at KGFX. Paul Raleigh, I'm here. Let's go. All right, where are we at in time? 6:58, so we still got about 7 minutes here. What other things can we educate YouTube Live before we go live on the radio stations? Black Velvet all the way. Remember back in the day, Dick, I was watching WKRP in Cincinnati. Remember that show?
Oh, you bet. I
That's-
love that show.
That's why I got into radio. I thought it'd be a lot more glamorous, but it isn't.
That's because you don't have Lonnie Anderson there.
So that would be handy. Actually, Bailey,
Bailey.
that
Jan
was
Smithers, I think it was.
well, I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
So I remember there was a police officer with Dr. Johnny Fever doing an alcohol on the air thing and your reaction time.
Okay.
And Johnny Fever's reaction got faster the more he drank, and the cop was like, "What's going on here?" Have you ever done any of that in any of the radio stations? Have they done that?
No.
In your lifetime? You
I
don't remember? Okay.
Can't say I have ever done that.
I could do that. So yeah, I was always thinking of all the radio stations I've been around and worked in and helped out. Never once have they offered free alcohol and a cop to take me home. So maybe today's the day. I don't know. We'll see. Lane says check the prime rib in the red cooler.
What am I supposed to check it?
It's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hasn't jumped out yet.
It's in there. It smells good too. That's currently where my notebook is laying and resting at this time. So, what else? Are you Bowman County Sheriff still?
No. That ended in January.
Langhoff took that now?
Frank Eberly.
Eberly. Okay. Who's the city sheriff?
Chuck Headley is
He's-
chief of police.
He's still chief? Okay.
Yep.
Does Amadon have a city?
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's got a city, but not a cop.
No city. The one parked out here.
Yep.
That's
That's Deputy Sally, but now she's got a mustache, so I don't know what we're going to do with that.
transgender.
Yeah,
We are the first county with transgender.
that might work.
We're doing that live. That is awesome. We got to get that Canadian flag off there. That makes me mad.
There's too many genders. I can't keep up with them. There's transgender, pangender.
There's two. I'll probably get dinged on
That's my theory
YouTube
too,
for this
but,
year, but there's two genders.
I keep hearing this stuff, and I don't know what's what.
You ever see the movie Kindergarten Cop with Arnold
A
Schwarzenegger?
long time ago.
Yeah. A kindergarten kid knew the difference.
Really?
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Well,
That was
makes
in the
sense.
movie.
That makes sense to me.
Even a 5-year-old kid, 6-year-old
Yeah.
kid knew that. All right. So if you're watching on YouTube for the first time, you might be booted off after a while. So you need to be a subscriber to my channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Just subscribe to it, and all will be good that way. So just a heads up, if something goes bonkers on you, that's what's going to happen. So yeah, first transgender city sheriff.
I think
chief of police, right?
I think we've lost like 3 of them over the years.
Just the mannequins?
Yeah, they've been stolen.
I know. I
Out
don't
of the
understand
vehicles?
that. Don't you keep the doors locked on the car?
Yeah, they managed to get in there.
I was
Uh,
always thinking, coming through Amazon, you got these speed signs
Mhm.
where it flashes at you. Can we wire that to the lights on top of the car and
We-
really freak people out when they come into town?
We thought about that at one time. Didn't know quite how we could get it done, but
I'm sure. Chad Erickson's an electrician.
Yeah, there you
We
go.
have a way.
should be a way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we decided that anybody that stole one of our female mannequins, we didn't want to investigate it because we didn't want to catch him. That's too weird for us.
This is all great show stuff. We got to come back and say this again. Oh, man. This is good stuff. I think anybody who's ever driven through this area, that's one thing that always sticks out with them
Yep.
is that
If you say you're from Amadon, that's usually the first thing.
Oh,
Oh, that's the place with the cop on it.
Yeah. So are you county sheriff still, deputy sheriff now?
I'm a deputy.
You back
sheriff
to
here.
deputy, okay.
Yep.
Didn't want to keep it?
Well, if I was going to stay sheriff in Bowman, I had to move down there.
Oh, that's
you got to be
right.
a resident, and I
And
didn't want to move.
You got all your cows and everything up this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that's all right. We got time here. All right, we're getting closer and closer to air time here. I'm going to turn this on. Get ready to roll. You have a little on-off switch, so if you have to cough or something, you can just drop it down. A little faster that way if you have to. I suppose all greasy. Yeah. Yeah. All right, about 60 seconds. Viewers on YouTube will be coming back here. It's going to go dead here for a little bit until we start the theme song. Let's go. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. The Saturday edition brought to you live on KFYR Bismarck, KOLY in Mulbridge, South Dakota, and KGFX, Capital City Pierce, South Dakota as well. And along with that, everybody watching on YouTube Live. I appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to my channel here as we are broadcasting from the Amadon, North Dakota Fire Hall. And if anybody has ever been through Amadon, one of the things that you'll hands down, well, maybe two things. It's small, and we have the only 24-hour, we got to say, police officer on duty 24/7, 365 days a year. So if you've ever driven through there, of course, you recognize that. Now, sitting right next to me here, as you can see on YouTube, and if you can't see it on the radio, is the Deputy Sheriff for Slope County, Mr. Dick Fredericks. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning.
You're also the fire chief.
That's correct.
You're also running cattle and ranch outside of town.
Yes.
You're a busy guy.
Yeah, I'd like to stay occupied.
So on the way in this morning, which is a half-hour drive for me from my place, all right, and what a beautiful morning again here this morning. We'll talk about what we're doing here. But first, I was thinking all the seasons that we have. Okay, we have calving season. First we have winter, Then we have calving season. Then this is my seasons, and I have branding season. Then we have road construction season. Then we have the bike rally season, which is what we're going to talk about, and then hunting season. Those are my seasons that I go by. And what we're doing here, it's bike rally season and haying season at the same time here, but still. Amadon Fire Department, this is 100% volunteer fire department. And I'm going to say this because we're on 3 stations in the Dakota Territory. I'm putting this out to every small town volunteer fire department out there as a big thanks to all those guys, because it's not easy to always volunteer your time. All right.
That's quite true. It isn't.
I mean, you said like yourself, you're a busy guy, but you have to show up and try to help out what you can. Not always can you get there, but you sure try. So tell us, during the bike rally season, the Slope Amadon Fire Department, what we do here, burgers, brats, and beer, not only for the bikers, but the locals and everybody else. It started out how many years ago?
I think this is our 11th or 12th annual one.
Okay.
And it, like you say, it started out as a biker rally thing.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much evolved into more of a locals
kind of a community.
Yeah, it's a community get together where everybody can come and sit down and talk to each other. Haven't seen each other for a while because everybody, like you say, is busy haying or chasing cows or whatever. They just got done branding. Now they're onto the haying machinery, and so they haven't seen each other for quite a while.
But not to say that some bikers don't stop. I mean, you got a lot of bikers that stop and take a break because it's a long drive. There's a lot of road construction that they have to go through. And so sometimes it's nice for them to get off their bikes and just kind of walk around, stretch a little bit. And this is the only fundraiser that you guys do the entire year.
That's correct.
Which is huge, because just to let people know, if you're going to support your local small town fire department, support them on all the little endeavors they do, because that's how they raise money to continue helping you out. So with the fundraiser, you guys do burgers, brats, and what else did you say you had?
We have prime rib.
Oh, you're doing
sandwiches?
Prime rib.
Yes.
You do that now?
Well, actually, they're clods. It's kind of a variation of a prime rib.
Okay.
Yeah, we try to have one of those every night, as long as it lasts.
Sure.
And then we have, like you say, the brats, cheeseburgers, regular burgers, and then, of course, beverages.
And we're talking beverages besides water, which, all right, for those of watching on YouTube here, we have the water here. You have how many different flavors of alcohol that you can serve out of here?
11.
And no whiskey, of course. I mean, this is just
no
beer and
we have
here.
Went up to like the White Claws and Mike's Lemonade, that sort of thing.
You gave me one of these White Claws this morning.
Well, it's breakfast. Ruby
grapefruit. And I got 2 sips into it. And I got to tell you, that's terrible.
Yeah, I haven't been able to try it even.
I
was hoping you'd let me know, and gladly you did before I ruined my taste buds.
Well, we were talking earlier on YouTube here, but this is a Hams beer drinking community, really.
Yes.
So when you come into this area, there's a good chance that that's what you're going to see in the coolers stocked up mostly, and then maybe the second might be
Busch Light, probably.
Yep. After that, and then the bottom feeders like the Bud Light,
right,
Budweiser guys down to the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but besides that, we have soda,
Yes.
You have different types of soda pop here and everything else. So it's not just a beer thing only here. White Claw Black Cherry is the best from a text messenger.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. I think we might have it.
I don't even think I want to try that.
Oh, we do have the Foxy Lady too that we just started this year, made by one of our firemen's wife.
Oh, this is homemade stuff.
This is homemade stuff. It's just
what is
I'm
it?
not sure. It's a rhubarb.
It's slushy, you said.
Yeah, it's a slushy thing, and I guess it's pretty good. It's more of a
maybe after the break I might attempt some of that.
Okay.
Is that Chad's wife?
No, Larry Lambert's.
Jackie made it. Okay.
Jackie
Now
made it.
I'm interested because every year at branding at their place, she
Mhm.
always has something great to
Yep.
eat or drink. That's for sure. So, all right. So, Amadon Fire Department only fundraiser. When do you guys start? I mean, we're here relatively early. We're on Mountain Time, a little bit after 7 here on Mountain Time. When does it actually kick off here this morning?
We usually start around 10. We get a
10
little
o'clock.
before. Some of the guys will show up and start making a breakfast
Sure.
just for them and
Yeah.
any bikers that stop in.
You know, and the nice thing about this is something that the local community steps in and helps out. I mean, you have, I remember last year, didn't Dakota Community Bank send up some of the gals up there and they cooked for you?
Yeah, every day we have a different group that comes in and just volunteers to help us out. Most of the banks come in. We have just regular neighbors come in and help during the day. And yeah, it's kind of a community run outfit.
So how many fires have you guys had to respond to this year?
I think we've been to 3 so far, but we've been getting all these little rain showers, so which that's helped us out a lot. But
it's still green out here.
Yes,
that's rare.
Yeah, very
rare.
rare.
So one of the questions, and again, I was thinking of this on the way in. One of your volunteer firefighters is Joe Miller,
correct?
And it seems like every year he likes to start a fire. Is that just so he can keep on the fire department here, so you guys got something to do, or what's the deal?
I think he does. Well, and there's another guy out here that seems like right during the fair we have an annual grain
first
fire.
name start with a P and last
yes,
name with
it
an R.
does. Yes, it does. In
Perry
fact,
Reddinger, if you're listening, it's you.
in fact, I was going to call him here pretty soon and ask him what day he wants to, or what time he wants to schedule his fire this year. So we're ready.
Right at fair time.
Yep.
Have the tankers filled up, ready to go. How many trucks can you respond with here?
We have 7 trucks on board.
All
now.
grass rigs?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Which is what
one tanker,
Okay.
and then we utilize counties. They've got a 3,000 gallon one, and then we're putting another one together with the county, and so that they can use it. And then when we need it, then they just pull it off and give it to us.
So when you go, like all small town volunteer fire departments around North and South Dakota, are they all kind of the same size? I mean, you see little buildings here and there, and of course, you guys outgrew your building. It seems like you outgrow them faster than you can put them up, I think.
Everybody you can never build it too big.
Make it an extra 100 feet, whatever you think you need. Right?
And then it's still going to be too small.
Yeah. So is there any federal funding that any of these small departments can receive, or is that kind of the thing on the...
I think that's pretty much done with. We've paid for some of these trucks through Homeland Security, over, I don't know, probably been 7, 8, 9 years ago now. Yeah. But yeah, pretty much now it's done. This is what we rely on for our funding. Is this fundraiser.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll be back more. Fire Chief Dick Fredericks, Deputy Sheriff, and yeah, I'm drinking a White Claw in front of the deputy. How do you like that? Actually, I'm not drinking it at all. We'll be back more. KFYR in Bismarck, KOLY Mobridge, and KGFX in Pierce, South Dakota. We'll be back more. Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Stop into the fire hall. I'm here live.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust is happy to serve the communities we are in, whether it's sponsoring a local team or rodeo, helping take tickets, or having a good neighbor club loyalty event. We are thankful for the great communities we live in. Without the community, we are just a bank. Please visit us at any of our 11 locations to learn more about us. We're in Bismarck, Bowman, Dickinson, Glen Ullin, Hebron, Taylor, Lincoln, Mandan, and New Leipzig. Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. Again, sitting with Joe, talking about deer hunting coming around the corner. When it comes to the deer list, you don't think about your wife's deer list. It's deer hunting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. She doesn't make very good venison. Let's talk about the rifles for deer season here. You got plenty of them to choose from, but name like some of the top 3 that people are coming in and they're just flying off the shelf.
Well, I would say the Marlins, Ruger Americans, of course, the Remingtons, of course. Savage is a super gun out of the box. They're as good as any of them as far as accuracy right out of the box.
What are some of the special things that coming around deer season, like optics, ammunition people are looking at? I know rangefinders are kind of big, and you guys carry a full line of optics as well.
Rangefinders is quite a thing. I mean, you got your cheaper ones, you get your higher ones. If you're going to buy one, you may as well buy a good one that'll get out there.
Mandan Sporting Goods, it's 210 East Main. Stop by.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com. Pfeiffer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabe would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pfeiffer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabe. For more information or land updates, go to Pfeiffers.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Scott Bachmeyer, and besides being the host of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio and also a rancher in the Badlands, I'm also an auctioneer. So if you're looking to auction off property, maybe you have farm equipment, a production sale coming up, even a benefit or a fundraiser, I'm the guy that can help you out. Maybe you're listening and you have your own auction company and you find yourself short of help sometimes. I can step up as an auctioneer or even help as a ringman. Give me a call, send me a message, 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
Pfeiffer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabe would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pfeiffer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabe. For more information or land updates, go to Pfeiffers.com.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. You can't find a better place. Joe's with me here. We're talking personal protection. I'll tell you what, Joe, everybody's looking for a good handgun. What do you have?
Oh, we pretty much got them all. We got the LCPs. We got the LCP with the laser. We got that little Taurus. We got the Bersa 380s, Caltech 9, Smith & Wesson 38s, Ruger 38s, with or without the laser. You can get a Smith ultralight with the laser, with the short hammer if you want, or enclosed. You got Beretta. We got the new one, the Nano. We got the Colt Defenders in. Those are really nice. The new Ruger SR22. It might be 22, but it's still a good all-around gun.
Now, if you're tough enough to wear pink, I see a pistol on the side of your hip right now with pink handguards. What's up with that?
Well, that's pretty nice, but you have to be a real man to hold a pink one, you know, but nobody will mess with you.
210 East Main. It's Mandan Sporting Goods. Stop by.
The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, now open 7 days a week in historic Medora. Plan to come spend some time with us and absorb all that is new for 2019. We have a new digital display as well as stunning photography and more in the Hall of Honorees, new displays throughout the museum, and more. Follow the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame on Facebook and learn more about us at NorthDakotaCowboy.com. And consider becoming a member today at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. Come ride with us into the future, proudly honoring and preserving our past.
Welcome back to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, Scott Bachmeyer here, and I am broadcasting from the Amadon Fire Hall, Amadon, North Dakota. Are we still the smallest county seat in the nation?
I heard once that there was one other one.
I thought somebody in South Dakota got it.
I think so. Uh-oh.
What do we got?
Oh, we got a guest.
Jim Sabe showed up here. He's not until the second half, so don't worry.
Okay.
But he can sit in the chair right behind us. Hey, Jim, I got something for you here. Here you go, buddy. Oh, you did? He heard me talking about it. Oh, no. Oh, that's too bad. I got to get rid of it somehow.
Oh, there'll be a
We gotta-
tourist come through.
That's good that he's listening.
Yeah.
That's impressive here. So, oh, by the way, we can take phone calls if you have any questions for Deputy and Chief Dick Fredericks. You can sure do that, but you have to call my cell phone 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651. We can take calls. I have that set up here. So there you go. Just make sure to watch yourself because we don't have no 7-second delay on live radio, which is fine because we're still one of those wholesome communities that take that. Now, before I forget, you guys here in Amadon talking about the cop car over here. I don't know if Jim knows this or not. This is the first that I know of in the nation transgender sheriff or cop out there in that car. Explain that, Dick.
Well, it started out, it was, we had a female mannequin in there, and it got stolen about 3 different times.
And that's the guy you didn't want to go after.
No, and we don't want to know what's going on there. So you just take your mannequin and go run down the road, so we'll replace it.
Send them to Bowman County.
Yeah.
Let those guys take care of it.
So then this last one we got, we put a mustache on it.
So
that one's staying here for some strange reason.
Sheriff Sally's growing a mustache.
Yes, Sheriff Sally's got a mustache
Okay,
now.
so I don't know what we can even call it. We can just call it Sally, I guess.
Yeah, I
because,
think we better just leave that one go.
it's a lot of names that can go male or female, I guess.
Yeah,
But transgender cop here in Amadon, the first that I know of anyway, that you can see every day working 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
365 days. And I've got to tell you, it does work.
Oh, yeah, very. They come smoking through here when we're sitting out front here. They'll be doing 40, 50. They spot that car, and I mean, you can just see the bumper hit the pavement and go.
So over all the years that you've been a deputy sheriff and sheriff for a short time down in Bowman, filling in as an outdoor show, I want to know during hunting season, what are some of the stuff that you come across here? I mean, because I know different states have different rules for transporting animals. So tell us some stories here. There's got to be some good ones. So
now that you
keep
put
the
me on the
names-
spot,
keep the
I don't know if I
names
can. But yeah, we get some pretty strange stuff. The guys that come in here from, mostly from over east,
Yeah.
Fargo, Grand Forks area. They come out here and they think they're in the Wild West and they can do anything they want.
They kind of are.
Well, yeah, but they seem to think they can get away with doing anything.
Right.
Laws don't apply or anything like that.
Especially trespass laws.
Yeah, very much so.
Because we're
trespass.
surrounded by a whole bunch of federal ground here too, east, western South Dakota too. They understand the same.
Yeah.
Fight that we're fighting up here. Too.
Exactly. It's kind of a cross state line thing.
Yeah.
The eastern Montana, western South Dakota, western North Dakota are pretty much the same type of thing.
That's my state.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no crazy stuff where dead deer in the trunk of a car, on top of the hood, or
Well, they used to put them on the fender of the vehicles, but just strap them down and then drive around out here in these dirty roads.
on the fender of a vehicle, you would have had to have like a 30s type of vehicle with that big fender.
Well, there was some
How
used to have
old
that.
are you?
Well, we won't go into that one. It's hard to count that long.
Somebody still might have a 34. I think Dr. Kelly has a.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was
yeah.
here last night,
Yep.
probably with it.
He
We
was.
throwing a
He
deer.
was
on
up
top
here
of that,
last
so.
night with it.
So, but here's the antelope season. Okay, pronghorn season, because I have an argument about that too. So during pronghorn season, we've had the season shut down here in this part of our country for many, many years. They opened it up a couple years back. So I mean, it was like 6 or 7 years they had no antelope season for quite some time. And then you see a whole bunch of people coming after these. And when they come from a long distance and they shoot an antelope or pronghorn, and they do a nice job cleaning it, gutting it out, but then they throw it on the back of a pickup or one of those luggage racks on the back of their SUVs and drive all the way back in the 90-some degree weather. And I can about imagine what that smells like by the time they get back. I mean, I guarantee they throw it away.
Well, I can guarantee you it's also covered with a lot of our flies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
See,
what
there's
they're
the problem.
thinking.
Everybody says pronghorn tastes gamey.
Yeah.
Well, it does if you do that with it.
You bet.
The way we take care of it, I think it tastes phenomenal. I love pronghorn.
Actually,
Love
I
it.
do too.
Yeah.
I like it.
Get some of them. Pheasant hunters. What kind of problems do you have with those guys?
Over here, we haven't had that much of a problem with pheasants. To the eastern part of our county, yeah. There's been, and then the farther east you go into Henry
there's
County and
it's funny.
Adams.
Highway 85, pretty much, if you're on the east side of 85, you'll find pheasant. If you're on the west side of it, good
Correct.
chance. So you're not going to find a lot of pheasant.
Correct.
We got the grouse on our side.
Yep.
Everybody has the pheasant on the other side.
And even the other guys now, after these winters we've been having, it's our pheasant population is way down.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's been a big thing. They get a lot of problems with it.
Yeah.
You know, I know I've talked to the game warden out here. He said that, you know, they'll come across a guy that's got 100 and some pheasants he just shot. They think that's plumb fine.
100 some
Yeah.
in one day.
Yeah, they've had that. He's spotted or
Now, now if you're on a shooting preserve, you can do that, but not here.
No, this isn't a preserve, and that isn't preserving much either when you go do something like that. So,
oh man. So, as a deputy sheriff, that also, I mean, you're not a game warden, but I'm sure if you see something, you can stop them, and
yes,
you have the authority to do that.
Correct.
Okay. And a fire chief. When it comes to fall hunting season, we get scared where I live, and you see people driving up and it's dry and they're driving on these 2-track trails. I am really worried about fires in that country because we have some pretty steep country. What would you tell people? Because common sense isn't common anymore. So what would you tell some folks? What kind of preventive maintenance or what could they do to be kind of a little bit more careful?
You know, we fought this for years and years that when we get these really dry falls that, you know, we try to get the travel restrictions on so that they stay on a main road because vehicles get hot.
Oh,
and you get out on these 2-tracks or even off of the 2-track and just go puttering around out in that grass.
Yeah.
And especially when you get enough fuel like we've got, especially this year, it's very easy to start a fire. And once they start, you know, in this country, it takes us a while to get there.
Yeah.
So it can swiftly get out of control.
Yeah. If you were to get everybody to respond, not today, because a lot of you guys are here working for the fundraiser today, but on a regular day, how long would it take to get to my place?
I would say a minimum half hour.
Yeah.
Because by the time we get to the hall, get geared up, get our trucks rolling, and then, you know, travel that distance, and depending on what shape the roads are in, which are a little rough right now. So
you know that.
Yeah. So yeah, at minimum a half hour.
How fast can on a 5 to 10 mile an hour wind day? How fast can that fire spread? Pretty darn fast.
Yeah, very fast, and especially it depends on what kind of fuel is there. You know.
Okay. A text comes in and says, "How many BLM protesters have you ran into out here?"
BLM protesters?
Yeah, Black Lives Matter protesters.
Oh, not too many.
Well, did you hear the story down in Rapid City?
Huh.
See, here's what gets me is, you know, we still have respect for our law enforcement. We see these cops getting doused by water cannons and all this stuff. And if that would happen in Slope County, I hope you get out and punch somebody in the face. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. But you see all this happen and there's no respect anymore. We're almost running out of time, but the National Guard went into Buffalo Wild Wings in Rapid City, and one of these pipeline protesters, because of the Keystone Pipeline through our area and through South Dakota there, got up and just started raising holy heck in calling them baby killers and everything because they were in uniform. They just got off duty and they went to get something to eat. And to the point where she pulled like fire alarms and started spraying everybody with a fire extinguisher. I mean, cops had to come and restrain her because of the new law South Dakota has that passed, that you're going to be checked into a mental institution if you start this stuff, right?
Yep.
And but anyway, all right, Dick, Amadon Fire Department, it starts at 10 o'clock and it's through the entire bike rally season.
Yep, we go till the 11th.
The 11th. I appreciate you coming on here. Thank you so much. We'll have Jim Sabe coming up next year. We're going to be talking a little bit about pheasants and seeing what's going on in that side. Phone lines are open, 71425-6651. We'll take your text messages on that same number as well. And until then, more Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition coming up your way next here on all the Dakota Network.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust is happy to serve the communities we are in. Whether it's sponsoring a local team or rodeo, helping take tickets, or having a good neighbor club loyalty event, we are thankful for the great communities we live in. Without the community, we are just a bank. Please visit us at any of our 11 locations to learn more about us. We're in Bismarck, Bowman, Dickinson, Glen Ullin, Hebron, Taylor, Lincoln, Mandan, and New Leipzig. Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. Again, sitting with Joe, talking about deer hunting coming around the corner. When it comes to deer list, you don't think about your wife's deer list. It's deer hunting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. She doesn't make very good venison.
Let's talk about the rifles for deer season here. You got plenty of them to choose from, but name like some of the top three that people are coming in and they're just flying off the shelf.
Well, I would say the Marlins, Ruger Americans, of course, the Remingtons, of course. Savage is a super gun out of the box. They're as good as any of them as far as accuracy right out of the box.
What are some of the special things that coming around deer season, like optics, ammunition, people are looking at? I know rangefinders are kind of big, and you guys carry a full line of optics as well.
Rangefinders is quite a thing. I mean, you got your cheaper ones, you get your higher ones. If you're going to buy one, you may as well buy a good one that'll get out there.
Mandan Sporting Goods, it's 210 East Main. Stop by.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com. Pfeiffer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabe would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pfeiffer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabe. For more information or land updates, go to Pfeiffer's.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Scott Bachmeyer, and besides being the host of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio and also a rancher in the Badlands, I'm also an auctioneer. So if you're looking to auction off property, maybe you have farm equipment, a production sale coming up, even a benefit or a fundraiser, I'm the guy that can help you out. Maybe you're listening and you have your own auction company and you find yourself short of help sometimes. I can step up as an auctioneer or even help as a ringman. Give me a call, send me a message, 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
Pfeiffer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabe would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pfeiffer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabe. For more information or land updates, go to Pfeiffer's.com.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. You can't find a better place. Joe's with me here. We're talking personal protection. I'll tell you what, Joe, everybody's looking for a good handgun. What do you have?
Oh, we pretty much got them all. We got the LCPs, we got the LCP with the laser, we got that little Taurus, we got the Bersa 380s, Caltech 9, Smith & Wesson 38s, Ruger 38s, with or without the laser. You get a Smith ultralight with the laser, with the short hammer if you want, or enclosed. You got Beretta. We got the new one, the Nano. We got the Colt Defenders in. Those are really nice. The new Ruger SR22. It might be 22, but it's still a good all-around gun.
Now, if you're tough enough to wear pink, I see a pistol on the side of your hip right now with pink handguards. What's up with that?
Well, that's pretty nice, but you have to be a real man to hold a pink one, but nobody will mess with you.
210 East Main. It's Mandan Sporting Goods. Stop by.
The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, now open 7 days a week in historic Medora. Plan to come spend some time with us and absorb all that is new for 2019. We have a new digital display as well as stunning photography and more in the Hall of Honorees, new displays throughout the museum, and more. Follow the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame on Facebook and learn more about us at NorthDakotaCowboy.com. And consider becoming a member today at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. Come ride with us into the future, proudly honoring and preserving our past.
And welcome back. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues here this morning. I am broadcasting from the Amadon Fire Hall as they're doing their only fundraiser they do the entire year. Burgers, brats, and beverages. It used to be burgers, brats, and beer, but we switched. We'll be politically correct. Go beverages. Jim Sabe sitting next to me. Jim, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning. What a beautiful day out. Had a lot of fog here again this morning. This 4 days in a row. So be ready around that 1st November for one big blizzard popping up.
Do you think a blizzard? Because November, 50-50, sometimes we have some pretty nice temperatures too.
And we could, but just by the way this year's going, it wouldn't surprise me we have snow in October.
I didn't invite you on to be the bearer of bad news here. I mean, good God. Here, have some White Claw.
Oh, God, no. I'm going to stick with coffee. That seems to suit me best.
Jim Sabe with Piper's Auction and Real Estate here. Say, one thing we never talk about Piper's before we get into talking pheasant. You guys have some people down in Mobridge.
We do.
And we're on Mobridge, KOLY right now.
We are. And
Did you know, before I cut you off again, KOLY has the biggest teddy bear jail of any radio station I've ever seen when I visited.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of freaky. I get a tour and they're like, and they walk in and hey, here's a storeroom and it's completely full of teddy bears. And then Karen quickly closed the door. I was like, what's going on here? So
that's kind of spooky.
It's spooky. But anyway.
But yeah, we got Kristen Gill down there at Timber Lake's got an office right in Mobridge. So it is kind of nice when we're driving through there to see the Piper sign as we're going through Mobridge, but got to say hi to everybody down in Mobridge.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be.
Yeah, and good folks down that way. So I said I need to get someplace something going on in Pierce so I can take my show on the road. Now that I know I can do this,
yes,
we can take it on the road and have a little fun with this. So what are you? How many pheasants you had on the way up?
Okay, I drive this country a lot. Now I was up here last night for the burgers, and I picked up extra burgers and went out to the hayfield where my son-in-law and daughter are out cutting hay.
Yeah,
and I tell you what, on the way up here this morning and all the way home last night, usually see birds sitting on top of bales, on the roads, out picking gravel. I saw 2 pheasants this morning all the way up here and 17 hawks. That's all I saw. Last night, I saw 4 or 5 hens with probably 2 groups of little chicks, probably 3 to 4 in a group. And that's it. Mm-hmm. I know we have a lot of cover out here, and that is, but we've had cover before and we still see birds. And everybody I talked to that's cutting hay said we're just not seeing the birds out there. Now, I attribute that to a lot of last year's hailstorm that went through our area at 2 days in a row. And then this spring,
we had hail this spring too.
We had hail this spring, and then it was cold and damp.
Yeah. And
that's awful tough when they're hatching. Granted, it's been a great year for them to survive because of the amount of cover.
Right.
And people say, well, all the CRP's out and guys are doing, you know what, there's still a lot of cover for these birds, no matter where they're at.
The CRP argument, I can go on and on about that too here.
I disagree with it.
Right. Did it help? Sure. Any cover is going to help, but there's still plenty of cover out there.
There is.
I mean, a lot.
And you look at the grain fields we have out here, and we haven't seen crops like this in many years.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But guys, when they were spraying, they're usually pheasants popping up all the time when they're spraying out there. They never saw that again this year either. So I drove every back road in the last 3 days around that Scranton, Reeder, Headinger, New England area.
Which is a hot spot for pheasants.
It is probably one of the hotter spots in the past history, even better than the Mott area. And I just do not see the birds.
Yeah.
It's the place where I do see the birds is from Robinson, North Dakota, down to Napoleon.
And they say that that's an area that the brood numbers were up this year, according to the Game and Fish. And South Dakota Game and Fish says that their numbers are a little bit higher too this year.
I don't know.
That's the reports, I guess.
There's a lot of things that go into it. That number one is the weather has the biggest part. There's a lot of predators out there between hawks and eagles, owls, feral cats, skunks, raccoons, owls.
That's one thing I've noticed over the years. I don't know if Dick can attest to this too, but just since in the last 10 years, I have seen the amount of not only hawks, but eagles.
Yes.
I've seen more bald eagles in our area. Granted, I'm on the Little Missouri River, but I mean, they're around like, it used to be kind of cool to see one.
Yeah.
And now it's like an everyday thing.
We're seeing them all the time. And you go south of Scranton, and granted, we're close to the Bowman-Haley Dam reservoir in the Grand River, but there's days you'll see 7 to 15 eagles flying around. And a lot of them are bald, and it's unbelievable to see that many eagles. And I tell you what, they've got a heck of an appetite.
Oh yeah. Like in my country, grouse numbers look really good. They're not too smart when you're cutting hay, though.
No.
I've never had to slow down so much in my life.
Yeah.
Of course, molehills help that quite substantially.
This year especially,
yeah. But I think the grouse numbers look phenomenal. But have you noticed we don't have grouse hunters anymore like we used to?
No, that's a little bit more work than anything else. I attribute to
Why
that.
shouldn't hunting be a little bit of work?
Well, I know, and
Seriously.
to me, it was a blast just to get out and walk when we go grouse hunting out there. But it's not the quick fix like pheasant hunting, where all of a sudden you're going to see 3,000-4,000 birds pop up and sit there in amazement. You don't see that in grouse. You're going to see those nice coveys of 6 to 12, and then you kind of chase them, and again, it's a lot more time consuming.
Yeah. Message here on YouTube Live, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. You can go and subscribe to my channel. Down by the Morristown, South Dakota area, says, seen lots of grouse with chicks, but pheasants are scarce down in that area too. And that's good pheasant country in that neck of the woods.
It is. And
Lemon, Morristown, Keldron area.
That's always been a great area in there. And we talked to a lot of hunters that a lot of time will hunt our area and also hunt that area. And we talk to guys all around basically the upper Midwest, and the numbers just aren't there.
Yeah.
And
that's a big moneymaker for the state. I don't care, North or South Dakota, and the small towns, and every restaurant and gas station and hotel or whatever it may be.
You look what those guys bring to town, and they're willing to spend money. They're willing to have a good time. And there's a lot of dollars not being spent and I see it in my hometown of Scranton. The hunters just aren't there. And even with deer hunting going on anymore, we used to be plumb full, and now we don't see it anymore. So those guys just aren't there. And I attribute the pheasant hunting to, there's a lot more birds closer to Fargo, and those guys only have to travel an hour, 2 hours to go hunt.
Right. Jamie says, don't forget about owls. They decimate a lot of pheasants too, and I forgot about it. I had it in the back of my mind, but
I've seen owls damage a bunch of pheasants so fast that it's unbelievable. So, and there's a lot of them around here.
Look at there. Somebody just Snapchatted. Do you have Snapchat?
Yes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. You send me stuff all the time. I'm not a big fan of it, but there's somebody sent it. They're listening to one of the great 3 radio stations that we're on here. So yeah, appreciate that. Thanks for listening in. That's John, by the way.
Oh, imagine.
Yeah, he's. I don't know what he's doing. He's still probably planting.
I drove by some of his crops yesterday, and he's got a nice crop coming too.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see, and a lot of hay's been put up. So, John, you did a great job again this year. Hopefully we can get this stuff in the bin is what we're looking for.
Hi from Mike and Nona here. We love your
Mike
show.
Flick.
Listening to you and watching our way to Grand Forks here. You bet.
Mike is from that Bowden area, a college roommate of mine. You got to meet him.
Oh, that's the guy who wants to shoot prairie dogs.
Yes,
okay.
Over at Steele last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's a avid hunter, but he listens to your show and he gets a kick out of it, and I can see why.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, call all the radio stations and tell them support, because all the naysayers, they have no problem calling. And did you hear I got kicked off of Billings?
No.
Because I shot a prairie dog live on the air. Well, it was actually recorded, but yeah. The Defenders of Wildlife, they don't like me.
Huh.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you're all right.
we'll be fine.
Well,
life goes on.
And I will say this, for every one naysayer, there's 5,000 that like it. So don't even worry about it. I know you don't worry about it, but we got guys like Mike Flick that's out, promotes your show, but also promotes hunting. And there's a lot more of those people in our area, I will say.
There are. But we need to band together a little bit stronger on some issues, I think, that come up, because, we have HSUS is infiltrated in both North and South Dakota.
Yes.
They got lots of money. They're very well organized, and they're funded by some pretty top-notch people.
Seems like they always have money.
They're funded by people that have a lot of money, whether they're top-notch or not. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Depends on how you look at it. In our book, they're not. But, but you go all across the state of North Dakota, and I guess the one number of species that I'm seeing a lot more of is moose. Now, we had a moose at the Bowman County Fair on that Saturday morning of the Bowman County Fair. There was a moose right on the east side of the fairgrounds. And I know they've been north of Scranton and been our area, and I talked to all my buddies up in the Crosby area, and they're
usually at,
but they're loaded with moose up there, and they say, we've got an abundance of moose. They just don't get enough of them shot because it's a once in a lifetime deal.
Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime.
And now there's so many of them, they're starting to wonder what's going to happen. I mean, they're living right in town. So you look at all that, and with the moose being pushed down here, we're starting to see more of them. Now, I think a lot of it is just they got kicked out of the herd, moving south. Maybe they like our climate a little bit better. I don't know. I mean, or Ham's beer.
They love Ham's beer.
Yeah,
I guarantee it. I mean, because the Ham's bear was the spokesperson,
right?
And those are illegal to shoot.
Yeah.
and so it's got to be the Hams Moose now.
I think so. We'll use that.
So if you moose moving on, then I haven't seen one yet. I think one of the guys saw one passing through years and years ago.
Yeah.
But we've a lot more cow elk.
Yeah.
In fact, I can show you a video here. Just 2 days ago, I took my dogs for a little walk north in the hay fields, and I saw them on the other side of the fence, jumping over the fence, which is always nice for me to see him jump the fence.
Yeah.
And then, my cow dog, thought, hey, you got some cows out, because they're big animals.
Yeah.
And they spotted him, and they turned and ran right through the fence. So when next time I see any type of, you just squat down and just let them do their thing and sneak out of there as best you can, because it's like a lot of fence getting down.
But again,
they said domestic cats are hard on birds too.
Yes, they are.
And for some reason, I can raise cats here lately.
Yeah, there's plenty of cats around, and and when you drive around the country, you see the different types of predators, and you see the habitat, and I will say this: where there is birds, guys have built habitat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use a couple of guys for example, but
explain building habitat.
Okay, we did it.
Are you talking just pheasant now? Pheasant habitat?
Pheasant habitat mainly, but when I was a guide and outfitter, we built our habitat. I went into South Dakota and went to many places to see how they did it.
And they do it well.
They do it well, and we learned how to do your tree rows, to do the food plots, the water sources, and then the other thing is everybody, there's always pheasants along gravel roads. Well, those guys taught me, put your gravel out in the field a ways, and those birds won't go to the road. Yep. And so the guys that have got the birds right now are the outfitters. They're all wild birds, but they're building a habitat. The other thing is for birds, you need livestock. They will survive if there's livestock on your place or in that area. And I'm talking feedlots, cow calf guys. Yeah. You always talk to them and man, you wouldn't believe the amount of birds here. There's a reason for that.
There's a real
Those
good
birds
reason.
will survive if there's livestock around.
Absolutely. Another great reason to have livestock.
Yes.
And that's why the egg industry and the hunting industry need each other.
Yes,
we really do need each other.
They do. Yeah. And so thank those guys. When you see birds in an area, go thank the farmer. Say, hey, thanks for building some habitat. Thanks for leaving, some strips of green for them. And there's a lot more to it, but I don't think the farmer rancher gets enough thanks for the wildlife that we have out here.
No, you're talking habitat. Let's talk about Custer, South Dakota. All the Black Hills have been getting just hammered with rain this year.
Right.
And I mean, a lot of rain going on. Don't move. Don't move.
Look out.
I'm going to get that fly. Oh, I didn't want to hit you too hard. So,
thanks, Scott.
I missed it, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I saw him fly away.
Saw it flying on YouTube. So anyway, Custer, Black Hills. They're getting just a downpour. Custer had emergency last night?
Yesterday afternoon.
Red Cross is setting up places for people, emergency evacuations because of all the rain. When you get this much moisture coming in, it seems like week after week after week. What does that do now? I know south of the Black Hills may have some different type of I don't think it's a big pheasant hunting area down there by any means, but I'm sure other animals are displaced by it or moved into other areas where the population may increase. That's got to be devastating in that area too.
It is, and you see that even here. But you get into areas like that where you're talking the elk and you're talking the deer, and there is a bunch of birds down in that country, but they do get moved and they will go back to their habitat, but they get displaced and get disorientated and kind of their life gets in shambles, kind of like ours does when we have stuff go on. And so people got to realize that, wildlife, it's their habitat. We all kind of moved into, everybody says, well, we've never had them here before. You know what? We've moved into their habitat as living people here. Doesn't matter if you're in the city or out in the country. This has always been their habitat, and no, we're the ones moving into their territory.
My sister came up from Vegas and visited me the other day, and she moved down there probably about 10 years ago. And she actually sat in a tractor and cut hay with me for like 6 hours. Had a good talk. First time I ever sat down and talked to my sister like that, ever. And she said in Vegas, she lives, I don't know if you call it a suburb because it's all one big area, but in the Knott's casino area over by the Red Rock or whatever they call it. she said that the problem that they're having is coyotes coming in and living in town, and the coyotes, and she has like 3 little ankle biter dogs, little yippers, and she says that they will jump the fence and start fighting with them if they didn't have that little doggy door or whatever they have in their house or whatever they have. And so you got to think, these coyotes are going to be smart. They're going to go where the free food is. The cat food's laying out there. The dog food's outside. Maybe, I mean, why not?
And we
cats,
see that
cats are free.
We see that all the time. When we were in Vegas, they had a big article on the TV about it one night. That be careful with all these coyotes around here, and doesn't matter where you're at, folks. If you're putting out free food, you're going to have a lot of different animals come there. And I'll name one example. I got a sister that likes to feed cats. Well, she's been doing it in the barn for a while, and my daughters went in to move some square bales, and here was a skunk and a whole bunch of babies in there eating free lunch. I mean, it's a buffet.
Yeah.
So be careful where you're putting this free food for everything, and if they're wild, you know what, they'll survive on their own. These cats, they don't need free food.
Guy says they need a shotgun, is what one texter said.
Oh yeah.
Raccoons need a shotgun.
Yeah.
So we don't have that problem. We don't have a lot of raccoons. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Down on the bottom of the draws and stuff where I live, we have a few raccoons out that way. Well, I'll tell you what, a few minutes left here. Amadon, North Dakota. We're at the fire hall, and I got to get out and get some more hay put up here as soon as I get done here. But burgers, brats, and beverages, you can come in, and this is the only fundraiser for the Amadon Fire Department. And they've been on 3 fires this season. In fact, they're so hungry for fire, they went over to the Ram District a couple days ago.
The other day. I believe Joe Miller started that one.
Well, there's a reason Joe's on the fire department.
I know. Oh, sorry, Joe. But...
He called me up. He says, Scott, what are you doing? Just like, hey, what's up? I'm like, oh, I'm got a pair. I got to go get a stock trailer and get this pair taken home. And he's like, oh, okay. I started a fire. You want to get a couple flappers and come over here? I'm like, you should have led with that.
Everybody's too polite here.
So that's the first time I had I busted the cow. She had to sit and wait a little bit. But
what I like about this event is, like you guys talked earlier about the social event of all the neighbors getting together. And like last night, Kane Conrad Smith from south of Ludlow were here. First time I think they'd ever been here, but they really enjoyed their day and get to visiting with people that they haven't seen in many years.
Yeah.
That's what's nice.
And not only that, as tight as the markets are for the ranchers and for the farmers, we still open our pockets up because we know how important it is to have a fire department.
You need that department there. It's your right arm.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, here, we still got some time here.
Okay.
We got to promote it more. It starts at 10 every day, right? Every day, 10 o'clock until
10,
whenever you want
8,
to close, until people are done
9,
eating.
10. I'm sure there's a few of them that stick around afterwards. And
are we going to have the bikini girls out in front again? No, not. They grew older. They grew older, folks. Okay. I hope they're not listening, and Dick, you're in trouble. I know one of them that still lives in the area, so I think you are in trouble there.
But you look at all the traffic like yesterday. It's been slow on 85 for motorcycles up until yesterday.
A lot of road construction too.
And then all of a sudden, I mean, there's bikers coming in, and a lot of it's coming in trailers. They're trailering a lot of them. They're getting to the age where they don't want to ride that far anymore.
Yeah.
My uncle used to drive truck, and he'd go to New York and load up a whole semi-load of bikes coming from England and all over and haul them in. And now we see these guys coming in their toy haulers, and
it's a lot different. It's not the grungy, dirty biker. I mean, these guys got money.
Yeah, they do, and they're very good people, and they like supporting stuff like this. You visited them. We sat and visited with them. They had a great time here last night.
You bet. Well, I tell you what, Jim, I appreciate you making the trip up here. Hopefully one of those brats are ready to go because, man, I'm hungry.
Well, I was kind of hoping for steak, eggs, and some hash browns.
Steak and eggs. We got prime rib in the cooler, but it's a little bit raw on the raw side.
Well,
so
we
hope
could
you like that.
cook that in a hurry.
All right. Hey, thanks for all the
everybody.
Thank you bet. Thanks, Jim. Thank all the radio stations, KFYR in Bismarck, KOLY in Mobridge, and also KGFX Pierre, South Dakota. And everybody on YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe and share it around here. Have a little fun with it. You can always watch this on a later date. DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com is my website. Have yourself a great weekend. All right, YouTube goers, thanks again for tuning in and watching it here. If you're watching it as a replay, share it with the rest of your friends, and I appreciate that. Have yourself a good one.